Hey everyone, it's Mike from Lifestyle Boudoir. In today's video, I'm going to introduce you to a new AI-based skin retouching program called Reblum. Full disclosure, Reblum sent me a fully functioning subscription to their awesomely simple AI-based skin retouching software in exchange for me making this video. Reblum is available for both Mac and Windows, and if you're interested in trying it out for yourself, there's a 7-day free trial and a discount code in the description below. Before we get started, first let me say Reblum is about the easiest, most user-friendly, standalone app for portrait skin retouching I've seen yet. You can easily work Reblum into your raw processing workflow, and it works seamlessly with Capture One and Lightroom or directly through Photoshop. And you have the convenience of batch processing a whole folder of images directly in the Reblum app. Plus, since it functions offline directly on your computer, your client's privacy is secure as you're not uploading anything to the internet for Reblum to work. But enough of the talking. Let's get to the demo. First, I'll show you how you can retouch skin without ever leaving your raw processor. I'll use Capture One to demonstrate as it's my raw processor, but I promise it works the same from Lightroom. Here, take a look.
Okay, so let's get started here. I'm in Capture One, and I've selected two photos, this one and this one, as the photos I'm going to use to retouch with Reblum. Select both of the photos. As you can see, this one is highlighted. You can see I've already done my exposure, contrast. I've done my minor adjustments. And the same with this one. Now, retouching these is as simple as can be. Since they're both selected, all I need to do is right-click, go to Edit With, and select Reblum. It's going to send them out as 16-bit TIFF files. And then it opens the Reblum window. So right now it's set to natural, and here's what this photo looks like. Now I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to turn the retouching off and back on, off and back on, and that's with the natural selected. And you can see it's done quite a nice job. If you go to fashion, it just does a slightly more polished look. And again, off, on, off, on. Click on the other photo. Let's do the same thing. Zoom in. It's set to fashion. I can go to natural and it's just a little less, or fashion. You can see it's done a really nice job. Turn off the retouching, turn on the retouching. To have done this in Photoshop with, say, something like frequency separation would have taken a good bit longer. Now, the only other sliders you have in here, you just have these two selections, natural and fashion, and then you have two sliders. The general will reduce the amount of retouching. As you can see, as I slide it down, the retouching goes away. Slide it up, the retouching comes back. And then the texture, when you take down the texture slider, it actually brings the texture back. So if we zoom in, say here, you can see it's put some of the texture back in the skin. All right, so these are ready to go. Now, all I need to do is click OK, and it will send it back to Capture One fully retouched. And as you can see down here, it's added new variants of each of the two photos. So I'm going to just bring up both of these. Here's the retouched version and the unretouched version. As you can see, the skin is much smoother on the forehead and the cheek, and it's quite a nicely polished photo. Now, I don't use Lightroom, but basically it's the same thing. You select the photo, you right-click on it, and then you edit in Reblum. It'll make its way back to Lightroom, and you'll be able to have both copies in Lightroom. And that's how easy it is.
Now, if you like what you're seeing here, I'd greatly appreciate it if you give me a like on this video and perhaps even subscribe to the channel. Every little bit helps. Next, we're going to retouch a few images with Reblum as a plug-in filter for Photoshop.
Okay, so I've opened this photo in Photoshop, and retouching with Reblum through Photoshop is as simple as can be. You literally go under your filter menu, go down to Reblum, Reblum Retouch. It opens up the Reblum window, and then we choose whether we want natural or fashion. I'm going to go with fashion on this one. And then I'll show you retouching off, retouching on. Basically, what Reblum has done is a really nice version of a dodge and burn retouch or a frequency separation retouch. And it's not heavy-handed, it looks really nice. You can play with your other sliders, but I just normally leave it like this. And just click OK, and it's applied it in Photoshop. And now it's retouched. It's that simple. Okay, real quick, I'm going to just show you a few more. Once again, filter, Reblum, Reblum Retouch. Zoom in on it. And before, after, before, after. I like the natural for this. I'm just going to stay on the natural. Keep my sliders exactly as is. Click OK. It's retouched. Do the same here. Filter, Reblum. There's a little hair that could go here, but for the most part, it's done a really nice job. Very similar to a high-end burn and dodge retouch. Click OK. That one's done. We'll try this one. See, she's got a few little blemishes here. One more time. Filter. Reblum. Reblum Retouch. And natural looks great. Let's try fashion just for fun. Look at the results. I think fashion's a little much for this because it's an outdoor portrait with a little fill flash. I think the natural is a better choice. Click OK. And it looks great. Now, just so you can see the finished results, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate my layer. And I'll do the retouching on this new layer. It did a pretty nice job of smoothing out the skin. Before, after, before, after. Leave it on fashion. Leave my sliders exactly where they're at. But if you want to see the difference, let's zoom in on this cheek. And if I take the texture slider down, you can see it got a little more textured here. Put it back, and it fixes that. Click OK. Now it's retouched. So, unretouched, retouched. Did a really nice job of smoothing out the skin.
Finally, we'll use Reblum as a standalone program to batch process and retouch several images at once and finish a whole folder of images in under a minute.
Okay, now I'm going to show you how to use Reblum as a standalone batch processing tool for retouching. I have my folder here with 9 photos. I'm going to open Reblum, select the photos, drag them in. All right, now they're all in here. Just choose whether you want natural or fashion. Make sure your sliders are where you want them, and then choose your export format. For these, we're all pretty much done, so I'm just going to save them as JPEGs. I'll do 100% quality and just click Save. It's going to ask you where you want to save them. You can create a new folder. I'm going to go Erica Retouched on my desktop and click Open. And now I'm going to time it. And it should take just a few seconds to get this done. And it's done. Now we'll open up this folder. And you can see nice retouching. And that's it. The whole thing took about 45 seconds to retouch all the photos.
So that's what I have for you today. I recommend you take advantage of the free trial period and test drive it for yourself. Or if you'd like to get the generous discount Reblum is offering, they've supplied my viewers with 20% off on a subscription or lifetime license. The link is in the description below. Now, until the next time, take care. And cut.